Object Manager preferences can not only be used to map an interface to a class that implements it, they can also be used to map a class name to another class. In that case, the preference means I prefer that this other class is used instead of the original class. This is a class rewrite. Let's assume we want to change the behavior of the product model. Usually, when a product is saved, the EAV index is marked as requiring a reindex. In this fantasy scenario, we want to stop this from happening. So let's add a preference that will rewrite the product model to a class within our example module. So for this would be the product model. And then the type is a class within our module. And that is all, except implementing the change in behavior. An easy way to do that is to simply copy the original class into our module and then alter the class namespace and those lines in the methods that we want to change. So here's the original class. I'll copy the file. I'll paste it in here. So now we have to adjust the namespace. There we go. Okay, and now in the after save method, I'll just comment out this line. That is the easiest way to customize behavior in Magento. But when Magento is upgraded, there's a problem. This modified copy of the class will mask any changes that might have happened in the original class during the upgrade. So, in order to keep the project as upgradable as possible, it's always good to avoid copying code. A better approach is to create a new empty class and then extend it from the original class, and then override only the individual methods that need to be changed. Okay, and now I want to override after save. So I'll copy over all of this here and paste it in here. And now I'll comment out this line again. The overridden methods should call the parent methods where possible. Again, to keep the system upgradable. So right here, parent after save already is called. But sometimes that's not possible though. For example, if the rewrite is done in order to work around some logic in a parent method. So yeah, that's actually what we're doing here, right? So if parent after save is called, this branch will be executed, and besides some things happening twice, which we don't want, the index will be marked as dirty again, which is exactly what we want to avoid. So we can skip calling the direct parent class method by using a static method call with our parent's parent class name. So the parent's parent, what is that? That is Magento Catalog Model Abstract Model. So here we'll do this instead of parent after save. This will cause the parent after save method to be skipped and go directly to the grandparent after save method. Please keep in mind, as is always the case when code is copied, that whenever Magento is upgraded, the copy needs to be compared to the code in the new Magento version to check if it's still compatible. If not, the method has to be copied and the change has to be applied again. Right here. So maybe it's a good idea to add a comment that this is the line that was changed. Anyway, let's quickly flush the cache and test our class rewrite works on the REPL. Okay, so we can see that it works. Besides the issue of making upgrades more difficult, there's one more potential problem with class rewrites. A di.xml preference is a single value setting. That means only a single preference for an interface or class can be active at a given time. If a second preference for an interface or class is declared, it will override the first one. This means that two modules that use preferences to rewrite the same class will be in conflict. In fact, class rewrites are probably the most common source of module conflicts. Because of this, it's a good idea to use preferences for class rewrites as sparingly as possible, because they are a powerful but pretty crude tool. Luckily, class rewrites are not the only customization tool that Magento provides. It's pretty low level, but in most cases one of the other methods of customization that are more high level, for example plugins or maybe di argument level overrides, can be used instead. Both of those will be covered in separate videos. As a rule of thumb, use class rewrites as a kind of last resort, but as such they can be very effective.